The topic we are going to study today is components of housing. Components of housing with reference to dairy farmhouse. What are the different components that we are going to study along with their specifications. So one by one we will discuss the different components of housing. First one is floor. Floor of the dairy house should be made up of such material which is easy to clean. Selection of material is very important. The material should be because we need to clean and dry the floor frequently. That is why the material of the floor, as far as dairy house is concerned, should be of the quality to have easily cleanable, and it should be dried off also easily. Then the second requirement, the second property required of the material to be used for the floor of house is it should be non-slippery. Means it should be somewhat rough, because if the floor is smooth, the animal may get slip and there may be severe injury including fractures to the animals. To avoid this, the material used for constructing the floor of the house is of such a quality that it should be non-slippery. So material should be easy to clean and dry. It should be non-slippery also. Then, while constructing the floor of the house, there should be a slope of 3 centimeters from manger to gutter. As you know, manger is the space provided for feeding purpose, and gutter is the provision to drain the waste of that dairy house, particularly dung and urine of animals. So while constructing the floor of the house, a particular slope should be given for easy drainage of these dung and urine. It should be of 3 centimeters from manger to gutter. Means manger should be at an elevated place as compared to gutter. Suppose this is manger, these are the animals, and at the back side there is gutter. So it should be at a higher plane as compared to gutter, and the slope should be of 3 centimeters. This is another specification which should be considered while constructing the floor of a dairy house. Then the floor space requirement. As we have discussed while studying different systems of housing, in loose housing system the calculations are not there, specific calculation per animal, how much space is required. It is flexible. The animals are free to move inside the campus. But as far as conventional housing system is concerned, the floor space requirement per animal is calculated, and accordingly the house is constructed. So the dairy house, before construction, this particular requirement should be noted, that how much space is required per animal. It is called as floor space requirement, and it varies. It shows variation according to class of animal. I have told you, at any farm there are major 4 classes: the young one, the pregnant female, the milking female, and the breeding bull. So according to the class of animal for which the house is to be constructed, this floor space requirement variation is there. On an average, per cow, per adult cow, floor space requirement is 1.5 by 1.2 meter per cow. Alright. So this is all about the first component of a dairy house. Floor, the material which is to be used for constructing the floor of dairy house, should be such that it should be easily cleaned and dried off. It should be non-slippery to avoid injuries to animals. There should be a slope of 3 centimeters from manger to gutter for easy drainage of dung and urine, and the floor space requirement per adult cow on an average is 1.5 by 1.2 meters. So taking into consideration these important points, the floor of the house can be constructed. So this is the first component. Then second one is roof of the house. The roof of the house should be constructed, it should have an arrangement such that it should take care of the sudden and extreme fluctuations of temperature. Extreme temperature fluctuations inside the house should be adjusted or should be taken care of. This point should be taken into consideration while constructing the roof of a dairy farm. The roof is made up of either iron sheets, asbestos sheets, and then cement sheets. These are commonly used to construct the roof of dairy farm house. In today's date, another materials are also available for preparing the roof of the house, but these are commonly used in the rural area also: iron sheets, asbestos sheets, and cement sheets. Then the height of the roof should be 2.4 meters at side. Means at the external walls, from the wall, the height of the roof, the material of the roof should be 2.4 meters. Then at the center, it should be 4.5 meters at center. Means it is in this form. A slope is there. Suppose here the wall is there. Suppose this is the wall. So this height should be 2.4 meters, and at the center the height should be 4.5 meters. Then the roof should extend 0.5 meters beyond the walls. This is the wall. This roof should be outside the wall by 0.75 meters to take care of drainage of the rainwater. It should go outside the house. It should not enter the house. For that purpose, beyond the wall, the extension of the roof is around 0.75 meters. So the height of the roof is 2.5 meters at sides. It is 4.5 meters at the center, and roof extends 0.75 meters beyond the wall. Okay. Then there is a ridge which is provided for ventilation. It is called as ventilation ridge. The hot air from the house should escape outside the house through this ventilation ridge. It is provided at the center. So these are the specifications to be considered while constructing the roof of a dairy house. It should be constructed in such a manner that it should take care of extreme temperature fluctuations in the house. The material used is preferably made up of iron sheets, asbestos sheets or cement sheets or any other material which is in use. Then as far as the height of the roof is concerned, it is 2.4 meters at sides. At the center the height should be 4.5 meters and the roof should extend 0.75 meters beyond the walls for proper drainage of rainwater. And at the center of the house, at the center of the roof, a ventilation ridge is provided for escape of hot air from the house. So this is about the second component of housing, dairy housing. First one is floor, second one is roof. Then the third component walls. The lateral side of the house from all the four sides is covered with the help of walls. So what are the specifications for constructing walls of a dairy house, that we will discuss. The width of the wall and height, it should be 0.3 meters and 1.5 meters respectively. Means the width of the wall should be 0.3 meters, this is called as width, and the height, it should be 1.5 meters. Then the inner side of the wall, suppose this is the house, so this is the wall, this is the inner side of the wall, it should be smooth. it should be free from cracks and crevices. If there is gap or if there are cracks in the wall at inner surface, it will be a place for breeding of ectoparasites, and these ectoparasites in turn will attack the animals and lead to different disease conditions. They may transfer some diseases, or they may cause the adverse effect on production performance or growth performance of animals. So to avoid this, the inner wall of the house, it should be smooth, it should be free from cracks and crevices, and it is also recommended that the inner part or inner side of the wall, it should be painted, or it should have a whitewash for disinfection purpose. Whitewash is required. Whitewash is also required for reflection of light inside the house. So these are the basic requirements as far as the walls of house are concerned. The width of the wall on an average should be 0.3 meters. The height should be 1.5 meters. The inner side of the wall should be smooth. It should be free from cracks and crevices to avoid breeding of ectoparasites. Then it should have whitewash from inner side for disinfection purpose as well as for reflection of light. So this is the third component of a dairy house, walls. Then the fourth one is doors. For entry and exit of animals from the dairy house, the doors are provided. So what are the specifications on an average for this particular component of house that we will discuss? The average height of door should be 2.1 meters. As far as the height is concerned, it should be 2.1 meters. This is a door. This height should be 2.1 meter. Then this door should be fixed with walls. So this is a wall. From both the sides, it should be fixed with walls. Then the width of the house, door, it should be 1.5 meters for the house which is constructed for accommodation of animals to be tied in single row. When the number of animals are less, single row system is adopted. On the back side there is no provision for tying of another animals in another row. So if it is a house for less number of animals to be tied, accommodated in a single row, the width of the door should be 1.5 meters. And if there are two rows, double rows, as we have discussed in conventional housing system, head-to-head system, tail-to-tail system, this type of housing is having two rows of animals accommodated in the same house. In some cases the faces or heads are facing to each other. In some cases the heads are facing outside. So in such type of houses, the width of the door should be 2.5 meters. So there is variation in the width according to whether it is a single row house or double row house. 1.5 meters to 2.5 meters. The height is fixed, on an average it is 2.1 meters. Then it should be fixed with walls on either side of the door. So this is all about the doors. Then another important component of dairy house is manger. The fifth component. The feeding space. Manger is the place where feed is placed for feeding of animals in conventional housing system particularly. So what are the specifications of the manger? The width of the manger should be 1 meter. The width should be 1 meter. Then this manger has two walls. Suppose this is the manger, this is the width. Alright. There are two walls of manger. This is called as rear wall. At exterior side, here the animals are there. This is called as front wall. The height of these walls should be such that it should minimize the wastage of feed. Because while taking the feed from manger, the feed may ooze out of the manger and it may be wasted. So to take care of the wastage of feed, the height of front wall and height of the rear wall is to be constructed with specifications. Now the height of rear wall should be 0.8 meters. It is located at another side of animals. These are the heads of animals. This is the front wall and this is the rear wall. And this rear wall should be with a height of 0.8 meters. Whereas this front wall should be with a height of 0.2 to 0.4 meters. Diagrams are given in the book. You can go through the diagrams also to clear your ideas. So front wall should be a height of 0.2 to 0.4 meters and rear wall should have a height of 0.8 meters. So these are the specifications as far as feeding place is concerned, which is called as manger. Then another important component as far as hygiene of the house is concerned is gutter. Gutter is the place which carries the waste material of dairy house, particularly dung and urine. As we have discussed, there should be a slope of 3 centimeters from manger to gutter for easy drainage of the waste material. Now, what are the specifications of gutter? The width of the gutter should be 0.6 meters and the depth should be at least 0.2 meters. Width of the gutter 0.6 meters. Suppose this is So it is a tail to tail system house. This is manger, and here the gutter is located. Okay, these are the animals. This is the head of the animal. So gutter is located at posterior side of the animal row, and its width should be 0.6 meters. Its depth should be 0.2 meters. It should be 0.2 meters deep. And the slope which we have discussed from manger to gutter, 3.5 centimeters, it should be gradual. Gradual slope means all of a sudden the slope is not there, it is gradually lowering down. The floor of the house is at an elevated place at manger, and gradually it will decline. It should be having a slope of 3.5 meters at the end of gutter when it reaches to gutter. So this is all about another important component of a dairy house: floor, roof, walls, doors, manger and gutter. And the last component of dairy housing is the place from where the different activities are carried out. It is called as central alley. It is the place provided to carry out routine activities by the workers. In tail-to-tail housing or head-to-head housing, it may be placed at the center. That is why it is called as, most of the times it is called as central alley. It is a place for movement of workers to carry out different activities such as providing feed, for the purpose of milking, for the purpose of cleaning, for the purpose of observing the deceased animals, the animals in heat, and all those things, all the routine activities, they are being carried out with the help of workers through the central alley. So it should be having such a space that free movement of the workers is possible. So there are certain specifications which should be taken into consideration while providing a central alley at a dairy farm or a dairy farm house. So this is all about the different components of housing with reference to dairy house: floor, roof, walls, doors, manger or feeding place, gutter or the place provided for cleaning purpose, and alley or central alley. From the next lecture, we will discuss about the different management practices, routine management practices we call them, which are carried out at different animal farms. So till then, you go through the book, the different diagrams are provided. You can have an observation of these diagrams for more understanding of the specifications of this particular topic.